Alright, you're gonna have to let me start off with this one thing that's not from the 100 yen store. I haven't worn a face mask in so long just because I've been so busy. I don't know what anime this is from. I don't watch that much anime, to be honest with you, because ain't nobody got time. Oh, it's Tokyo Ghoul. Okay, so yeah, anyway, I just thought that his little bondage mask thingy was fitting for the times that we are living in right now, so I'm gonna put this on. My skin is definitely like overcompensating for the lack of moisture that I've been giving it by producing a lot of oil. Ha! I like how they stayed true to the one eye patch thing. Feel like a zombie warrior girl. Okay, and I always like to, at the very end of applying the mask, I like to kind of pull it up a little bit on the side here, just to help with that lifting process, however marginally. Alright, so it's been 10 minutes. The essence for this mask is a little bit on the oily side, so it's taken a while to sink into my skin. So I've already pre-dampened my marshmallow puff sponge. As you can see, it's sitting in this really cute and adorable cat-shaped sponge holder. You know what, normally I would just go with some sunscreen and face powder, but for the sake of demonstration, I'm using my RMK Erozakura translucent BB cream. Just the tiniest smidgen. Like that much. This cream actually spreads out over quite a wide surface area though, so you really don't need to squeeze the bottle more than 2 or 3 times in order to cover the whole face. Okay, but that was too little because it got soaked up by the sponge. Need a little more. I feel like maybe it's getting soaked up by the sponge. See, that's why I usually go with just regular old foundation brushes these days, because I feel like it's less wasteful. But you do tend to get a nice, even, airbrushed finish when you use a sponge. This is a pretty nice sponge, you guys. Still not as soft and malleable as the Beauty Blender, but softer than I imagined. It's not one of those super stiff or hard sponges that are difficult to maneuver in your face crevices. Then I am going in with my You Are Glam eyebrow pencil. This is in 01. This actually kind of saved my life yesterday because I slept through my alarm. I woke up literally 20 minutes before my train was supposed to come. So the train that I take into the city is the 6:50, and I woke up at 6:30, and I was like, because I try to get there by 8, right? It's not super strict, but like, you know, if I get there on time, then I can leave on time. In order to catch the train on time, I need to leave like 10 minutes before it's scheduled to arrive if I don't want to have to rush and run and everything, which I refuse to do, especially in this heat. So yeah, I ended up taking the 7 a.m. and like it was fine. I made it on time. I think I got there at around 8:05, so it was totally fine, but I didn't have any of my makeup done. And I always keep a spare one of these eyebrow pencils from You Are Glam in my bag for emergencies just like that. So I had to do my eyebrows and eyeliner on a moving train, you guys, yesterday morning. It actually turned out looking pretty fabulous. What can I say? I guess I work well under pressure. And I think that like now that my hair color is starting to really strip away at the bottom half, because I dyed my hair darker a couple months ago just to get rid of like the dirty blonde shade on the bottom half that I really wasn't digging. And I also wanted it to look just more natural when my roots grew out, because I'm at a point where I don't want to be dyeing my hair every 2 months, you know? I want to try and be more protective about that and work with what I've got. But the darker brown is like really stripped away at this point, and you can't tell because my hair is still kind of damp, but once it dries you'll see that it pretty much matches this color exactly now, whereas before this was a little bit light. Performance-wise, it's perfect. Like, it's pretty much on par with any drugstore eyebrow pencil that costs 15-20 times the price. Are you kidding me? And I've used this particular one on camera before, so that's not a surprise to me. The only critique that I had was that it strangely doesn't come with a cap. I don't mind the thinking behind that. Like, I guess it's not really necessary, especially for people like me who are prone to losing caps and things like that. But I just don't feel like carrying this around in my makeup bag because the tip always gets kind of dirty after application. Or like if I really wanted to, I would have to wipe it like that, and it's just kind of a hassle. But anyway, let's move on to probably what everyone is most curious about, including myself, which is the eyeshadow. So I picked up 2 eyeshadow palettes from AC Makeup Tokyo. We have this one, which is a more neutral grayish color palette. Oh, it has a name at the top. It says chocolate brown. So there you have that. And then we also have the 6 eye color palette in Pink Blossom. So this one has 8 and this one has 6. Since I do have to be at work today in about an hour, or I have to leave in an hour, I am going to go ahead and use the neutral palette. I might try to pull in like some of these pinks for an accent later on. We'll see how much time I have. Here's the 8 color eye palette. Very, very sleek packaging. Feels pretty sturdy too. I love anything that's clear, minimal. It's very Muji vibes. They are a little bit on the hard side. It's not as soft as I imagined, which is actually kind of a good thing, because I find that for some other Daiso brands, like You Are Glam for example, their eyeshadow formula is soft to the point that it kind of just disappears once you blend it out on your eye. It's also very flaky, like you'll get a lot of fallout and stuff. So this seems like a nice balanced texture right off the bat, just from the finger swatches. Let me throw on some eye primer. Then I am going in with the eyeshadow brush M. All the brushes that I'm using in this video are from Seria, and this is by the brand Carimpia. Interesting. Okay, kind of stiff, but whatever. I just want to use this to take this color all over the lid. It should be fine as a packing brush. Ooh. Okay, no problems with pigmentation at all. Excellent. Okay, so I think we do need to give a fair bit of credit to the P. Louise eyeshadow primer here, but listen, this eyeshadow is meeting that primer exactly where it stands in terms of quality. Alright, then I am taking this smudge brush from AC Makeup Tokyo. This one's a lot softer. I quite like the feeling of that. And let's just dip into the charcoal brown or black over here. Put that on the outer corner. That's amazing, actually. It's not the easiest blend in the world, but definitely not the hardest. And you can actually see the contrast between the 2 shades. That's amazing. Come through, AC Makeup Tokyo. And I'm gonna take this light gold color right here and just pat that on the center of my lids. Wow, that's pretty reflective. So nothing special about the texture or anything, it's just a basic finely milled glitter. Actually, I take that back. It is more finely milled than the glitters from a lot of other 100 yen store makeup or eyeshadow palettes that I've tried before. Because usually they tend to be like flaky or clumpy. Like usually the glitter is the dead giveaway at the end of the day that you're using a Daiso palette. But this is actually like pretty sophisticated adult looking glitter, you know? You guys, no fallout. What is this sorcery? I'm gonna take this smaller eyeshadow brush and just add this charcoal gray at the outer corner of my lower lash line. I keep forgetting or running out of time to do this step as of late, but I do quite like this effect of just connecting like my deepest defining color from the top lid, connecting it with my lower lash line. It just ties everything together, you know? It doesn't look appropriate with every single look, but whenever I do my little signature neutral smoky situation like this, I like to have that. Okay, well, since it was like way easier and more effortless than I could have ever imagined to lay down this basic eyeshadow look, I think I'm going to go for it and add a pop-up color. Okay, there's the little Pink Blossom palette. Let me swatch. I basically just want to use this hot pink magenta. Kind of matches my shirt. No, I'm not wearing this into work. Whoa! Oh my god! Whoa! Oh my god, I was not prepared. Okay, so this salmon pink color right next to the magenta pretty much crumbled the moment that I pressed my finger into it. Do you see that? Okay, I don't know if that was a glitch with the bonding agent for that one or if it's supposed to be that way, but wow. Okay, so yeah, the magenta is like a lot more densely packed and harder. This one is falling apart, so we're gonna leave her alone. But the one on the right here, like the more muted salmon color, is kind of a hybrid between the two. That actually looks like a really nice transition matte color. That's this one over here. Okay, anyway, it's 100 yen though, so I'm not surprised at any variableness that might occur. But I'm just gonna add this magenta almost as just an eyeliner. Just sweep it across the entire lower lash line. And then again, just for cohesion's sake, I'm going to take some of that gold that I have on the center of my top lid and pat that over the center of my lower lash line. So you get the same like halo effect on the top and bottom. Okay, I need to speed it up for the rest of this face, but before I proceed, can I just say wow. Again, my P. Louise eyeshadow primer is definitely pulling a lot of the weight, but why do I spend a month's worth of rent on RMK every season when I could literally just get my entire life with 300 yen right here? Seriously though, I need to make better decisions. Alright, so moving on to liquid eyeliner. I have two eyeliners from Daiso here. This one is You Are Glam and this one is Capilleur. I think this one actually cost 200 yen or something, so that's a cop out. We're gonna go with the Daiso. Look at how tiny it is in comparison though. That's the one thing about You Are Glam that kind of turned me off to them, or it made me less excited than I initially was when the brand first came out. This is a felt tip applicator, which is not my favorite, but we're just going to go with the flow. But yeah, You Are Glam, when I really stopped to think about it, their sizes are a total cop-out. Like, they're tiny. The powder products are okay. Eyeshadows, blush, and things like that. Those are all regularly sized. But I noticed, like, when I reviewed their lip oils a while back, those things were freaking tiny. Like, they were actually sample sized. And when you look at it, it's like, you realize that this thing is not gonna last me for more than 5 applications tops. So at the end of the day, is it really a bargain? Okay, wow, this pen is really dry, but that's because I've had it sitting in the back of my drawer for the past few months. So we're gonna give her a pass on that one. It's not the fault of the eyeliner per se. Oh, this is not a black color either. It's like brown, so it's nice for if you prefer a little bit of a softer effect. I normally always go with black though because all black on, black top shades, black top I don't know, I feel like if you have lashes you can kind of pull off the brown eyeliner thing, but I don't really have any lashes. I am the interim chair director of the Itty Bitty Lash Committee, so I kind of need that black, you know, to at least give me some illusion of having hair in that area. Speaking of lashes though, I am going to go in with these Seria lashes that don't really have an official brand, but they are brown. I wore these yesterday as well, and they were almost perfect. Almost. Still did not manage to surpass my favorite Daiso lash design. The only thing about these, and this is like totally personal, you know, related to my own eye size and shape and everything, but I found that the radius of curvature on these was just a tad tighter and yeah, smaller than I'm usually comfortable with. The Daiso one has a more flexible band as well, so maybe that also contributes to it. But yeah, I just have to be careful about angling these the right way so that they actually shoot up.
That's what she said.
I'm using Daiso eyelash glue. To be quite honest, I do think it's a decent glue, and it has a nice little fragrance as well. But as good of a deal as it is, it's still not strong enough for my taste. Like I always mention, I do have quite unique eyes in that they are half folds. So when I apply eyelashes, I really need to make sure that they're stuck on there. And I need to make sure that the folded part of my eye in the inner corner, you see how the inner half is like hooded? I need to make sure that the lash band does not lift up in that corner in particular. So that's why this super strong Eyelash Fixer X from D Up is my holy grail. But if you don't have hooded eyes or anything like that, you should be able to get by just fine with the Daiso Lash Fixer. It is a weaker formula overall though, so maybe you want to make sure that you're not doing anything strenuous that day if you don't want your eyelashes to lift off. I think there's pros as well as cons to the weaker formula though. Like for one thing, you can take them off easier, and therefore it's not as hard on your eyes when you remove them. So, but wait a minute, what am I saying? You should not be ripping off your eyelashes anyway. At the end of the day, you should take a cotton pad and soak it in solution and gently, you know, work it into the glue until it loosens. It looks fine so far except for this one like random hair sticking up. Do you see that? That's from the falsies. I don't know why it's sticking up like that. Whatever, you can't really tell from afar. Okay, I'm gonna put on mascara off camera because I'm running out of time, and I will be back soon to do blush and lips. Okay, now we move on to probably the cutest product of the morning. This is a liquid cheek by Little Twin Stars. Well, technically it's by Sanrio, I guess, because Little Twin Stars is a Sanrio character. Kirei ni hashoku pitato michaku. And it says Twinkle Happiness Girl at the bottom here. So is that what I'm going to be when I put this on my cheeks? I just picked the most corally one that I could find because that's usually what flatters me the most. Alright, let's swatch it first. Ooh, that's pretty straight orange, but I'm assuming that when it blends out, okay, that actually looks pretty cute. And there's a mild like baby powder-esque smell, which sounds bad, but it's not that bad. You really have to hold it directly under your nose in order to smell it, because I can't even tell. That is very like natural looking and cute. I really like that. It's like one of those see-through flushed cheek situations. Really, really nice. What the hell? Am I gonna have to sell like 90% of my makeup collection after this? Because I'm realizing some things in this video.
I feel like this year is really about like the year of just realizing stuff.
Because I feel like I'm looking pretty darn good, and I'm realizing some things in this video. This is the Little Twin Stars Twinkle Happiness Girl lip gloss. It's called the Prism Lip. And why don't they write the shade names? That drives me crazy. But it's like a yellow aurora situation. Okay, so the consistency is actually pretty thin-ish. It's like a lip gloss, basically. It goes on thick, but once you spread it out, it thins out really quickly. Okay, well, that sounds like I was just stating the obvious, but you know what I mean. I like it though. I really am a huge fan of lip oils. Do you see an aurora effect? It's like barely there. See, look at how tiny this You Are Glam lip oil is in comparison to the Little Twin Stars one. Wow, so everything so far has been amazing. I just realized that I forgot two things, so I need contour and highlighter. I have 10 minutes, so let's just knock those out. This is the stick shading color from Daiso. Unfortunately, there's like only one or two colors, maybe just literally like one, because I feel like they had a white one for highlighting and a brown one. So I've used this a couple of times. I actually think it's quite decent. It does come off pretty orange on me, or also just in general. I think on most people it's orange, but I feel like it looks okay. With all things considered, it looks fine. Because I realized the other day that I'm not Caucasian, so like I'm not Caucasian, so even if my contour is a little bit orange, it won't look that off, you know? Like I'm never gonna look like Trump is what I'm trying to say, basically. That is not a worry that I need to concern myself with in my lifetime. If I happen to use an orange-ish contour, it's not the end of the world, you know? It just looks like I'm a little bit suntanned, which is almost better in a way if we're talking about everyday natural makeup, because the whole point is that you don't want it to be obvious, right? So I feel like it's less obvious this way with a lighter tan color. And then we are topping everything off with the You Are Glam Bouncy Highlighter in white. This is actually a really solid highlighter. I mean, it's not solid, it's powder, but it's really, really good for the price point, and it actually has a decent amount of product in the pan. I don't know if you can see, it's like super glittery, and it has that nice veil-like effect akin to a Fenty Diamond Bomb or something. So I've heard. I've never actually tried the Fenty Diamond Bomb personally. Ooh, do you see that? Okay, that might have been a little too much. I'm gonna have to powder this down later. But yeah, if you put this in like an hourglass packaging or something, I'd be like, oh, okay. Like I wouldn't bat an eye. Okay, so that's my finished 100 yen shop makeup look. I hope you liked it. I don't have time to calculate exactly right now, but everything here definitely came to under 2,000 yen. And this hot sauce that I just got, this Cobra chili hot sauce that I got, was 2,300 yen. So basically my hot sauce is worth more than my face.